Shout out to Dayton.
Really?
Yeah, he owns probably $5 million worth of property.
Oh, damn, my bad. Sorry.
Dayton's wonderful.
There's nothing worse than just an alarm at 3:43. What did I have today? Whatever. I'm going to miss it. What's up, dude? My name is Dayton Rolly Pants, and welcome to yet another episode of the Spam and Eggs Blobcast. Blackpink in your area, first of all. Blackpink in your area. You guys know that one? I'll put it right here. Blackpink, exclamation point, is the band's name. I've only heard 2 songs, but they're very good. And here's the other song.
From the 72nd Operations Support Squadron, Senior Airman Daniel Garcia.
I don't know if I'll listen to the rest of their stuff, right? Because it might not be good. And then I won't think they're good anymore. It's weird how that happens, right? Because sometimes artists make a thing that's really good, and then they turn around and make another thing that absolutely sucks. and there's like the Matrix franchise, Red Jumpsuit Apparatus. This is a warm take at hottest, but M. Night Shyamalan. You know, Ed Sheeran, his music, dude, used to be hot as shit, and then he had a baby, and now he's too happy. So that's what happens. And you just want to ask him, you know, hey, what happened to you? You take it personally. I do. As if he made a great thing and then set out to make a stinker just to piss you right off. You know? And that's not fair to him. Some things aren't for everyone. So why am I upset? At any rate, it's why I tell people to only listen to the latest 5 episodes of this podcast. No matter where I am, episode-wise, only listen back 5. I looked it up. Right now, only listen back to the It's Good to Be Korean podcast, because the rest are not that good. I just itched my butt a little bit. And then, of course, you know, in 5 episodes, with luck, this won't be good anymore. Unless it's not good now, in which case it always sucks. Welcome to the podcast. Back to Blackpink. Blackpink in your area. I think about Blackpink probably 3 times a day. In the right setting, the band Blackpink makes me feel, for real, like a sexy lady. So I've been grappling with that. Because it's not often that I feel like a sexy anything, let alone a lady. I've been thinking about this too. One thing about music is I am highly influenced by it. Right? On a level that I almost never appreciate. Okay? Sometimes I just walk around and I'm a big ball of nerves. And then I turn some music on and I am worse. I'm like, no one touch me. I just listened to this song that, you know, it made me think of this thing from 11 years ago. I'm a vulnerable guy. You might be aware of that if you've listened to certain episodes, maybe all of them. But music has a way of exploiting that vulnerability for about 3 minutes at a time. And then the song is over, the shuffle continues, it drops you on your ass, and then the next song evokes a totally different emotion. And it's exhausting. Music, Here's the thing. I have too much of an array of no, maybe I don't know. Maybe that's not what it is. I don't know. Music on shuffle. Music on shuffle is self-inflicted whiplash. Okay, let's start there. That's the premise. Honestly, I'm 29 and it still happens, and it'd be sweet to grow out of that by now. But also, you know, I'm Peter Pan with it, dude. I'll just be sad forever. But it's not always sad, right? I was listening to this song, The Glory by The Score. The Glory could be in every single car chase scene ever made. It's in this movie, 6 Underground, or Underground 6. Put the number after the word. Okay, go back and fix it. I think it's Michael Bay. It's in this movie 6 Underground with Ryan Reynolds, where he's a billionaire. Surprised? Who employs his own personal band of mercenaries who murder war criminals. And it's a great picture. Watch it after this. I'll give you my Netflix. If you haven't seen it, honestly, it's pretty much like every other movie. So don't watch it on second thought. This whole podcast, dude, is just me making bold claims and then saying, never mind. So let me start over. When the song comes on, whatever it is, but in this case, the score's The Glory. This is already pissing me off. The two thes. If you're gonna have, never mind. If you're gonna name a band The anything, don't have a song titled The. And also, if you're gonna have a band, it better have a The if you need it. There's nothing worse than listing off a string of bands that you like, and then just saying, "Oh yeah, Eagles." It's the Eagles, but it's not the Eagles. It's just Eagles. They should have rethought that one. I'm sure someone had to have said something. Okay, so I'm listening to this song, and I immediately feel like a different kind of sexy lady. All the songs make me feel like ladies. Okay. This song makes me feel like the kind of sexy lady who can drift real fast and then shoot bad guys without looking. And she doesn't even look around to see if her team saw because she knows they did. You know what I mean? The Glory by The Score, I feel like the kind of sexy lady who could fuck Ryan Reynolds so good in a movie that he divorces his actual family. Right? But she chooses not to because she doesn't need the validation. That's a crucial part in the character building. She's confident. Maybe, okay, all right. Maybe I'm not painting a good enough picture. This is me in my actual head when The Score's The Glory comes on. First and foremost, I'm a lady. We established that much. Also, I guess a little precursor. When The Score's The Glory comes on, I don't sit there and just like try to figure out like, okay, let's consider what kind of lady I am. What kind of fantasy would be fun to live with this song? I already know, right? There's nothing to consider. I know the kind of lady I am. It's just what hits me, and it's just what is. Right? The fantasy is real. And honestly, when it's my fantasy, It's barely a fantasy, right? Only one or two parts of the fantasy are sort of far off, but this could be real life if I play this song a few more times. And I'm only sort of joking. I'm an actual crazy person. Okay, so the song comes on. Jesus, this is a lot of intro. Check it out. Okay, so the song comes on, and I'm a lady. I shoot bad guys without looking while drifting a car and eating chilies. just like on the plate with silverware and everything, dude. I meant to say corn nuts. I don't know. I don't know where that came from. Chilies are corn nuts, dude. And I don't even use my mirrors while I'm doing this. While I'm shooting guys, drifting, eating chilies. I don't even use my mirrors. But if I did look in a mirror, I'd know that I looked good. And I think that's all that matters in the fantasy, dude. Right. Also, I normally work alone because my old partner used to help himself to my chilies. And while I'm doing my thing, and I'm like, hey, dude, fucking don't. Get your own chilies. We were there just a minute ago. You said you weren't hungry. Spit it out. Also, I could fake fuck Ryan Reynolds in a movie. But not as a lady. As me. And it's not even a silly scene, dude. It's a serious one, dude. And he falls for me. That's what I think of when I listen to music. Which is why I switched to podcast. You can't just be walking around thinking of that shit, dude. Oh, man. Sweating. All of this is going on, and I'm just standing in front of eggs, you know? Okay. Anyway, I'm listening to that song, and I'm thinking about that, and then this is why I say shuffle is not where it needs to be. DJ X jumps on the mic, you know, and he's always got, it's just like play the next one, you know? But DJ X jumps on the mic, hey, how's it going? Now we're going to take things down a notch. Get ready to cry till you die. Here's Luther Vandross's Dance with My Father Again. And it's like, I was just a sexy lady. Dude, you couldn't have a buffer song between drifting around shooting bad guys and the saddest song ever made? Here's an idea for Spotify. If I skip 6 or 7 sexy lady shoot 'em up superhero songs, then play a tearjerker, because that's probably what I'm after, right? But if I listen to 3 back-to-back sexy ladies shoot 'em up superhero songs, play another one of those, because there's a very good chance if I'm listening to, you know, Rob Zombie for 10 minutes, I don't want to cry next. I don't want to start looking at old texts, wondering where the time's gone, you know? Right? For those of you who have Spotify, there's a thing called DJX, okay? It's an AI DJ who's supposed to learn who you are and be your personal DJ, right? And you don't even have to tip them. DJX was a solid bet for a while there. DJX knew me better than I knew myself for like a solid 3 weeks. Then they started changing things in the neural net, They started, you know, yanking out limbic systems, flicking amygdalas. And now it's like every other regular pre-touchscreen shuffle. And it's like, oh, well, Spotify, we had a good thing, right? And now we don't. My grandpa always said, life sucks and then you die. Now I know what he means. It's the biggest reason why good DJs are so hard to come by, right? Because if you're a DJ, you can't just push shuffle and then go take a dump in the garbage, right? Okay? You got to read the crowd as a DJ. You got to call and response. Beats per minute. Pay attention. Are there any birthdays? You have to keep the mood where it's at. And if you're going to shift the mood, it's got to be, you know, appropriately abrupt. I can't be made to feel like this 8th grade melancholy, pimples and everything, secondhand serenade shit. Then made to feel like I'm the guy who Jason Bourne goes, oh fuck. It's Bass and Jorn. Spaghetti sauce. That's not, yeah, spaghetti sauce. Bass and Jorn is a spaghetti sauce. There's no need for that swing in emotions, right? I'm not a spy. As much as I've got to remind myself, I'm just getting eggs. Being overly sensitive to anything is really obnoxious, but overly sensitive to music, it's like, it's another level, dude. You can't be that big of a cheese ball. It's like this forced bipolar thing. And it's fine to listen to sad music when you're sad. That's my favorite thing. But there's no reason to feel like fine and then feel sad because DJ X wants to fuck with your head. DJ X is like an abusive boyfriend, dude. Just go from happy to fine to a sexy lady and then suicidal. Don't get me wrong, it's a progression that I'm accustomed to, but I can do it all on my own, dude. I don't need a DJ that doesn't pay attention. I was thinking about this too, though. Sometimes it's not the DJ's fault, or the shuffle or whatever. Sometimes that transition takes place between two songs on the same album. And that is a mistake. I'm like, hey, are you nuts? You just made me feel really sad. I'm very sad right now. Why is there a hot single club track right after? You know? I was listening to Ariana Grande's My Everything. Killer album. The album My Everything has a transition like this. You've got the title song, My Everything, where she's talking about a guy and he's her everything, which is every song ever made, right? Sort of like Underground 6, but it's very good. Early Ariana Grande can beat the shit out of me, for real. But the first lyric of the album is, I cried enough tears to see my own reflection in them. Okay? It's that kind of song. Very good and very sad. It's my sweet spot. Sensitive guy. All right? So it prepares you for what should be coming next, which is an even sadder song about the guy pissing in her tears. And, she can like see his reflection just pissing. Just pissing in her tears, right? And you're like, yes, dude. Ariana, give me the business. Gonna be another sad song. I'll be your everything, right? That's what should happen. What happens is it's 4 seconds of silence and then Bang Bang comes on, where it's just 4 chicks talking about how they're ready to fuck. Okay? What the hell is that transition? There wasn't any better place you could squeeze that song? Dude? It feels like a kind of betrayal, honestly. I don't know, man. Does that resonate with anyone? Because you can't go from very sad to club shit, okay? It doesn't feel good. It hurts. It feels bad. It's like listening to Desperado and then like fighting a ferret. It's like what's up? I'm DJ X. I know you're really sad right now. My bad. How about a ferret? I'm feeling tight with the riffs today. I don't like it. Tell me how much you hate me. The Spam and Eggs Podcast at gmail.com. Anyway. What else, dude? What were we talking about? This whole thing about it's been about music. I had something else about Blackpink. I don't want to keep talking about Blackpink. This isn't a music podcast. Here's the thing about Blackpink, though. The songs by Blackpink that I know have a sound that'll straight up make you, like, do weird stuff, like cut all your hair off, right? Fucking stick it in your jeans. And they're like, why'd you do that? And you're like, I don't know, Blackpink, you know what I mean? And they're like, no. And you just got to drive off. There's a song called Pretty Savage. And if there's one song by them you shouldn't operate heavy machinery to, this is the one. Too sassy of a song to be in charge of heavy stuff. All right. I was just listening to this song. That's why I don't know, it kind of pumped me up. I'm like, damn, got to make a podcast. The first lyric is Blackpink in your area. Blackpink in your area. And it's weird because while those are all English words, the configuration of those English words are very secondhand, second English second language, secondhand smoke. But it's how I want to start every podcast, honestly. Blackpink in your area. There's a tongue roll too. There's a tongue roll in the song right before the beat drops. They're like, hey, should we tongue up that drop, dude, just a little bit? They're like, yeah, tongue up the drop. But they're saying it in Korean, so I don't know how that would go, but someone knew how to tongue up the drop. And I hope they were Korean. It's good to be Korean. I just itched my butt a little bit. There's another lyric that sounds just like the words vagina savage, which can't be right. But we'll put that here. Anyway, dude, I'm into K-pop now. I went to a Korean hot pot place. Pop. Dude, I can't speak today. I went to a Korean hot pot place today for like 3.5 hours with my Filipino family because that's how long we eat. We eat so long, dude, that we get hungry again. And it's like, I want to go home. I got to get out of here. Anyway, for 3.5 hours, they played K-pop sing and dance competitions, which, if you're wondering, are 12 times cheesier than they are here in the States. However they managed that, I'm not sure. But Blackpink, in your area, made multiple appearances. And after dinner, I called my buddy who likes Korean girls, and I was like, hey, I get it now. And he was like, what? And just hung up. But I only knew one Korean girl growing up, Valerie. We never really talked about her being Korean, so she might actually not have been Korean. But she went to my grandma's church one day, and my grandma said, she's Korean. So maybe she's Korean. Back then I thought anyone who looked vaguely Asian was either Chinese or Filipino. And then there was Eddie Choi, who was Korean, who only did peace signs for pictures. And that's when I learned about Koreans. So I guess I still don't know a lot about Koreans. So if you're Korean, hit me up, dude. Let me know you're out there. What else is going on? I was on Instagram today. We could talk about that. Dude, I've been on Instagram for 15 years, and I think it's safe to say that we are as fucked as we've ever been. In a lot of different ways, but specifically in terms of modesty. And I'm not one for, I let it all hang out, dude. I don't give a shit. But there's gotta be a limit, dude. I don't know what's with all the skank fests on Instagram these days, dude, but get it off my explore page, right? It's too slutty. I clicked on 7 belly dancing videos 8 months ago, and now every 3 squares on my explore page are thinly veiled nipples and AI vagina. So I've just been overcorrecting, right? Clicking on fucking Harry Styles and like pots of spaghetti, trying to overcorrect. But Instagram is smart, dude, and that's the problem. It knows I'm trying to outsmart a supercomputer, so the algorithm is just like, surely he can't be into nipples and spaghetti. Let's just keep putting nipples. Also, dude, I'm naming this episode Nipples and Spaghetti. Sometimes it just comes to you. But it's too much, man. All my favorite meme accounts are just selling ad space to the hoariest women to ever live. And I'm not putting them down, okay? I'm really not. Be what you want to be, dude. Just like I said, let it all hang out. I just think Instagram should be like 4% more Christ-like. And what I mean by that is just no more AI vagina for the kids. For the sake of children, right? I'm mostly pissed at Instagram because there are no holds barred, dude. It's just like, ooh, we got him. Once you click on like 8 things, dude, and it's got this whole world for you, and it just will never let you out of it. I clicked on 3 pictures of Jenna Ortega, and all of a sudden the algorithm is like, let's get every picture of Jenna Ortega into this guy's pocket so he can't get any work done ever. Where was that going? Slutty Instagram. This crop of 18 to 23-year-olds is the thoughtiest group of young women that's ever walked around. And until literally an hour ago, there was no animosity. None. A little. There's a little bit of animosity, dude. Because is it a bit much for the first image to see in the morning be a photo of a 20-year-old sucking a banana? Of course it is. Does it turn the rest of my day inside out productivity wise? Of course it does. Right? But until today, I was fully kosher with the proud slut community, right? You want to suck a banana on Instagram? Fine, dude. I have a podcast with no following. How much worse is sucking a banana? Right? Until now, it was don't hate the player, hate the game. But on, September, whatever it is, 2024, I got in Instagram and I saw a girl bent over in a short skirt, butt cheeks peeking, duck lips, kissing her grandmother's coffin. Listen, man, that's too slutty. Right? Leave the game at the door, dude. Be at grandma's funeral. I looked at this picture for like 4 whole minutes, dude. I couldn't believe it. 21 years old, bent over, short skirt, duck lipping, kissing, a box with your dead grandma chilling. Right? And I was just like, well, time to make a podcast, dude. Didn't have much to talk about for a while. Time to talk some shit. It's like, can we just not be sad that grandma's dead anymore? Why bring your ass into this particular equation? That's worse than young moms on OnlyFans. I'll say it. That's worse than having a podcast. I mean, imagine being related to that girl. Right? You couldn't wear 6 more inches of fabric to your grandmother's funeral. What are you trying to fuck an uncle? Right? Dude, I'd be so pissed if I was grandma and my mega thought hot ass grandmother was doing duck lips and throwing her ass against my coffin, almost knocking me over. Right? And it's like, dude, if I was a girl, do you know the ridicule I'd get smacked with if one person in my family saw me or a hot ass cousin doing that over our renowned family matriarch, poking my ass out over grandmother's custom coffin, her final resting place forever, by the way. If one person in my family saw, I'd have 15 minutes to be on the inside of a space station, honestly. If I were to take a picture like that in front of one family member, my escape plan would have to be like Prison Break level elaborate. Okay? I'd need a helicopter on standby to take me to 3 more helicopters. And then I'd get in another helicopter and have them all take off in different directions just for, like diversion. And then I get a change of heart and just have all 4 helicopters crash into one another, dude. because that'd be better than what my great uncle Joel would do to me if he got a hold of my 15-inch neck. He'd get so first generation on my ass, dude. Slap the brown right off me. He'd slap the half brown right off me, dude. Make me sweep it up. Give it to a white who deserves to be brown. You know? And here's the thing, dude. This isn't slut shaming either. It's common sense, just regular. Of course, don't do that decency. Because it's your grandmother's funeral. Even if grandma was a bigot and a racist, even if she farted too much and called black people colored, wear more fabric at the funeral. Do you know why? Because there's more family there, and some of them are pretty nice people, you know? Some of them also hated grandma. Right? If you're going to be a whore, leave your little cousins out of it, because they're trying to grieve grandma, and now they have boners. It's confusing because they're your cousins. You know? It's crazy, man. Oh, dude, my girlfriend was in a musical. Another musical. That was fun. Jesus Christ Superstar. I'll say this right before we get to Jesus. She's one of the most talented stage actors you'll ever see. I know I've talked about it a little bit. I know I never posted the Margaritaville episode. She was in Margaritaville as well. Got the lead, of course. But I didn't post that one because there was some stuff in there that was like, well, you don't have to tell everything about everything always. Right? This doesn't have to go on the internet. But since we've been together, dude, she's done Little Shop of Horrors, Into the Woods, Margaritaville, Cabaret, Jesus Christ Superstar, and one experimental thing that honestly maybe didn't even have a name. But let's say that is 50 total shows. I've seen, honestly, 47 shows. Now, I'm not telling you to pull focus and show how good of a boyfriend I am, but this is my podcast. Okay? And if there's anything true I'll say about this podcast, it's that it's mine. So I'm a good boyfriend. Okay? 47 out of 50. I wonder if she'd agree with that. Hopefully. That's a good grade. Rachel sings and dances. I'll show her this podcast and then I'll see if she thinks I'm a 47 out of 50. That might lower my score. Never mind. Rachel sings and dances with the best of them. And I really do believe that. And that is mostly why I go to all of her shows. The very next reason I go to all of her shows is when you've seen Margaritaville 8 times, and then you see it another 11 times, you learn the musical like it's the back of your wiener, obviously. And it's not like watching a movie 19 times, right? Because it's live theater. And so it's different every time. It just is, right? It's going to be different. It's humans on stage. I told a friend that I had seen it 19 times, and he was like, I think that's autism. And I was like, you don't know what autism is. But if you haven't seen a musical 19 times, you haven't seen a musical. I'll leave it there. And it's great because the best actors in the world couldn't duplicate a show perfectly, like a carbon copy, right? There's too much going on. You catch all the subtle stuff when you've seen it a bunch. And live theater is all about the subtle stuff, dude. It's little decisions, it's little accidents. And I also like to see shows a lot because I can go up to the actors after and like compare performances, right? I can like give like real sort of feedback only to the people that want it, and they make it pretty apparent, right? Like, hey, I noticed how you stayed in that in that seat like an extra beat. Did you do that on purpose, right? Were you thinking about like geography or something? Because it stacked that tension up nice, whatever you did. Keep doing it. And they're like, oh, fuck, holy shit. Right? Or like, man, I noticed how you kissed my girlfriend for like 11 seconds instead of the prescribed 3 or 4. And I thought that was interesting. Right? And then you wait an extra beat to stack that tension up nice. And then you just, oh, is this your girlfriend? And then you walk up and just like, start tonguing her down by the water fountain, right? Give her ass a little squeeze and then plug the podcast. You know? Then just walk back and say, you know, anyway, great stuff, man. I love your acting. I'll probably come 17 more times, so I'll see you tomorrow. Count to 4 for that kiss tomorrow, though, you know? I'm very secure. I actually am, dude. I'm good with it, dude. I teased Rachel in this photo book, actually. I got her for our 5-year anniversary, and on one of the pages, I said, you know, like, I watched this show this many times, this show that many times. I watched you marry another guy 19 times. I watched you kiss another guy 38 times. These are probably very accurate numbers. And it's a fun joke because it is a joke, of course, right? Because your boy's 47 out of 50 secure. Plus, she's a banging actor, and that's what they got to do sometimes, right? Banging actors kiss, dude. That's the game. If you're going to date an actor, that's what happens. Date an ugly one, then. And she tells me I should do musical theater because the girls would basically cake their panties, I think is what her actual words were. I should ask if those were her actual words. But it's not a reason not to do theater. I'm just kidding. I'd be very respectful. But the thing about watching her marry dudes and kiss them and tongue them down and stuff is other people will learn that I'm her boyfriend, and they'll get like weird, you know. They'll be like, oh, that's gotta be weird for you, huh? But here's the thing, dude. It's not. First reason why, 47 out of 50 secure, right? Second reason, that's how great of an actor she is. And people don't really get it, dude. People don't get it. Because when we first got together, she was cast as Audrey in Little Shop of Horrors. And we were together for maybe 6 weeks, give or take. And I already knew she was a singer, right? Because she sang a lot. Sometimes too much. And, but it was good. And I'd never seen her act, though, was the thing, right? So opening night, Little Shop of Horrors, I'm just going, you know, dude, what if she can't act? What if she absolutely sucks? Because that's always a risk, right? You get invited to a show because your buddy is like a rapper or like a magician. Dude, imagine getting invited to a friend's magician show, magic show. Not going. I'll go for the material, but I'm not paying. Anyway, after the show, they're like, so what did you think? And if they sucked, you're like, oh, dude. And then you got to fake a phone call. Not the case with Rachel, dude. Opening night, Rachel and her co-star are blowing it out of the water, right? They get to the makeout scene after Suddenly Seymour. I think it's right before act break. And I didn't realize that they were kissing until the lights went out for intermission. That's how good she is. I didn't realize it was her. And that sounds like bullshit, but I swear to God, it's not. It's not like they were making out for 10 minutes. I would have been like, hey, what's going on? Right? But sincerely, I was immersed in the world and it wasn't her anymore. Second night, something was different. I probably had a bad day. Right away, I was like, man, he's really tonguing her down right now. This sucks. 28 out of 50 secure, right? Third night, I forgot it was my girlfriend again for 10 more shows in a row. Only missed one. Good boyfriend. 46 out of 50. What did I say? 47. 47. I'm a 47, dude. It's all good. All of that to say, when very good stage actors have tongue down scenes, right? Boyfriends don't clock it for about 2 or 3 seconds. When great stage actors have tongue down scenes, boyfriends don't notice till right before someone boring asks how awkward it is. Right? They're like, oh, you're her boyfriend, huh? But you want to kick some ass now. Then they get this stupid twinkle in their eye, like I'm gonna, like, what? Confide in them? Yeah, I know we just met, but I'm glad you asked. I'm definitely gonna kick this guy's ass later. Don't tell anyone, but I'm gonna do it in the dark in about 10 minutes. Fucking idiot. Bad actors' boyfriends don't have to worry because they never kiss anyone. Right? Only the hot ones are getting tongue in on stage. And then it's the medium hot ones who are actually cheating and, God knows the kind of ensemble venereal disease they're dripping all over the stage. Anyway, man, it's oh, dude, I've got a friend who is in new love. And that is the grossest thing ever. And everyone kind of goes through that, but it's like, you gotta have some, like, you can't have total blinders on, man, about new relationships. I mean, maybe, fuck, you do whatever you want, right? But it's like, have some sort of sense of self-doubt, because it's like, I know we've only been together for 2 weeks, but I love you. No, you don't. 2 weeks, dude? 2 weeks. 2 weeks in, dude, that person is still a total stranger. You don't even know what she really smells like. She's pretending, you're pretending. And it's all good, but just remember that, right? Because she could smell like, you could think she's the greatest thing in the world. And then one day, on week 3, she could smell like your 4th grade teacher, Miss Pickin. And you're like, what's that smell? And she's like, what smell? And I'm like, your smell. What is it? And she goes, well, it's my smell. Right? And you go like, you smell like Miss Pickin. And she's like, who's Miss Pickin? And you go, don't worry about it. I just, I thought I loved you, and I don't, is all. Smells are important, dude. You can't smell like Miss Pickin. Imagine Miss Pickin just wants to see if I have a podcast all of a sudden. if by any stretch, she's not going to see this. No one's going to see this. But yeah, I don't know if she smelled necessarily, but she was about as good as at math as we were, which is, you know, why I'm not an astronaut. Thanks, Miss Pickin. Dude, me and my buddy Quinn had a teacher once whose breath smelled like, honestly, like a baby shit dumpster fire extinguished by cat piss and olive oil. So bad. What was I talking about? New love. I lost it. Okay, here's something. Last thing, and then I'll end. I was waiting in the lobby before Jesus Christ Superstar, and this 70-year-old lady sits next to me, and she starts doing Bible study. Like real, not like on an iPad, like on an original gangster King James Bible, Word of God shit, right? And I'd already seen the show like 7 times. I don't know if she had, maybe she knows the show, the cast album, whatever. But I was like, oh, this show is going to hit you harder than most other audience members. I don't know if you got to this part in your Bible, but there's this bit in there where Jesus gets real dead. And this musical is about that little bit there. There should be a trigger warning for the real Jesus people right before the show starts. Like, hey, just in case you didn't know, Jesus dies, and we're going to show it to you. Like how when I saw Book of Mormon, I swear to God, 10% of the audience was Mormon. And I'd heard the cast album before. And so I knew, like, this will not be what you thought it was for several of you, at least. Right? Okay, so Jesus Christ Superstar, Bible study lady. I'm sitting. She's sitting. 70 years old. Silky hair. Long dress. Bible. And I'm kind of just admiring her, you know, because I never see people reading the Bible. I don't even know where you find one. So I'm just looking at her, smiling. And this lady looks up from her Bible. This lady looks up from her Bible and straight up farts in her pants. And turns to me and says, I don't know what to say. And then she says, please don't tell anyone. And it was so funny, dude, because I don't know what to say is like, dude, I wanted to rip my own legs off and throw them at a goose, right? Like I didn't know what to do with myself. Please don't tell anyone, is what she said after farting in her pants. Dude. And it makes sense. Please don't tell anyone makes sense because the nightmare there is he's going to tell someone. Right? The nightmare is he's going to tell someone. And it's like, how does that play out in her head? You know, it's like, see that Christian lady over there? She just farted in her pants. And the other guy's like, really? We should kick her ass, right? That's the nightmare. So she thought, I'm going to get ahead of it and ask him not to do that and say please. Right? God, it was so funny. And so I said, here's the key part though. I said, I'm sorry. As if I didn't hear her fart in her pants. Dude, I'm a good guy. Anyway, was that episode too long? Maybe. That's a weird way to end, farting in pants. But thanks for checking out the podcast. Blackpink in your area.
Black